everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to film this mermaid hair look. So it's kind of like a crimped mermaidy look using my mermaid hair tool, which looks like this. I recently posted a picture on Instagram and a few people messaged me asking how I did my hairstyle that I had in the picture, so I thought this is a great opportunity to film another YouTube video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you do. Okay, so I washed and blow dried my hair last night just because my hair is really thick, and if I wash it on the same day and blow dry it, it still is a little bit damp, so I always like to wash it the night before, and then I know it's completely bone dry and it's really going to sit nicely. I've also put heat protector spray in it, and I've just given it a brush through just so it's kind of defrizzed and there's no nasty knots in it. Okay, so to start with, I'm going to actually turn on my mermaid hair crimper. So when I turn it on, it goes to 180 degrees. And I actually turn it all the way up to 200 degrees, so it's really hot. I've got really thick hair, so I do need it quite hot. Maybe if you've got finer hair or hair that breaks easier, maybe keep it on a lower temperature. So then I've got these little clips that I also got from the Mermaid Hair Crimper website. I just use them to section my hair. So I actually do it in two halves. I've already created my pattern using a comb, and then I'll split it down each side, and then I do it in about 3 layers. Just because my hair is really thick, so I think this again will depend on how thick your hair actually is. So that will be my first section, and then I just twist it around into like a little space bun. It's really out of the way, and then I just clip it, and then I do the same on the other side. I'm trying to do this in the viewfinder of the camera, but it's really difficult. I don't feel like I can see properly what I'm doing, so hopefully this works out okay. Okay, so now all that is pinned down, I'm going to spray this section with hairspray. The hairspray that I'm using is this Satuana. Is it Satuana? Anyway, I always say it wrong, but it's the light and flexible, so don't use a hairspray that's like firm hold or anything like that, because it's going to make it look really crispy. So I'm just spraying all of that section. Don't overdo it, but just make sure that all of the hair is covered. Okay, so I start at the front and just get in a small section. The key to this is not to have too much hair. If you've got too much hair in the crimper, it's not going to crimp correctly. I always hold the clasp at the top, and then I try and get as close to my scalp as I can without burning anything, and then hold it down. I like to hold it for about 10 seconds just so that it's really well crimped, if that makes sense. And then you're going to pull it down, but be careful not to pull on your hair because you'll pull the crimp out. It's still warm and it's still setting. Okay, and that's the first section done. When you clamp it on, pull your hair away from your head, and then hold the crimper out like this, just because it gives it volume on the underlayers. So I'm going to carry this on all the way around this section, and then I'll come back to you once it's done.
A few moments later.
Okay, so that is the first layer of hair done and crimped. So now I'm going to go on to the next layer. So I'm going to take out one side of the space buns and then section out my next layer of hair. And then with this next layer, I'm going to section it out again into smaller sections as I go. So this is my first section, and then I'm going to pin this bit up out of the way. So for this section, I'm going to brush out each section as I go, just to get rid of any flyaways and make it really smooth, and then hairspray each section as I go as well. It's just the same technique. So for this layer, just get as close as you can to the scalp, holding the tool outwards for volume, as I said before. So as you can see here, like I said earlier, you can see that I'm not putting any tension on this area of the hair, because while it's warm it won't be set, and you want it to set. So if you tug on it, it's going to pull out the crimps. I don't know if I'm explaining that properly. I'm so terrible at explaining everything, so like if you guys don't understand, just let me know, to be honest. Okay, and then the next section. Really like this particular crimper just because the barrel size is really big. Some of them have smaller barrels and it doesn't look as kind of natural. So now I'm going to take out another layer. I'm actually going to do it in 4 layers just because my hair is really, really thick. Obviously if you've got thinner hair then you won't need as many layers. I'm going to do all of this side first and then move over onto this side. Okay, so now for the top section. I'm going to split out this front bit just because I want to leave that till last. So I'm going to pin this section away separately. So for the top section, same thing, brush it out, hairspray it. But once you apply the crimper, don't go too close to the root because you're going to get a horrible kink. This is definitely taking me longer than usual just because I'm filming it. On a normal day it would take me about 15 minutes to do all of this and then it will last 3 days, so it is much easier than curling my hair. These clips are really handy, so I would highly recommend them just for sectioning out your hair, especially if you've got super thick hair like me. So if you look here where there's a crimp, if that's really close to your root it just doesn't look nice. Okay, so now for this little section at the front, hold the tool away from your head, still leaving a gap so you don't get that horrible crimp near your scalp, and hold the tool away because we want this bit to sit away from our face, and just maybe hold it a little bit longer than you did with the other sections, just so it's really the crimps are really perfect. So I think that looks pretty good. That's all of that side done. Now I'm going to go on to the other side and then I'm going to come back to you.
A few moments later.
Okay, so I'm back and I've finished both sides of my hair. So this is what it looks like once I've finished. I'm then just going to get some oil. I'm actually using this Tarte oil, but it's probably better to have some kind of hair oil, argan oil or something like that. And then just rub it in the palms of my hands and then just go through and scrunch it up, give it some volume, make it kind of less all together-ish. And then also flip my head over, scrunch it up. Whoa. Like that, just to give it some volume. So this is what the finished product will look like. So if you stayed all the way to the end of my video, thank you so much for watching. Every view helps, every like, every comment, every subscription to my channel helps at the moment where I'm trying to build it. I really hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel.